All righty. Well, I'm going to just jump right in. I'm so glad to have you here with me today. It's another Tuesday, and it's the first Tuesday of the new year, 2026. And it's just fun to get started. I don't know about y'all, but I am really glad to kind of get back into a routine, maybe back to my normal life, whatever that's supposed to be. I've decided that really my normal life is being not really very normal. So anyway, I do like routine. I like having some kind of setup. I do better with that. Even when my kids were in school, as much as you look forward to summer vacations and those type of things, I was always ready to get back into what I would call in myself the normal routine of being back in school again. So whatever that is. So yesterday was really the first day back, and it took me most of yesterday just to sort of get my brain switched around again. And as I was thinking about the topic for today, it really made me think because I've already heard a few people saying like, "Oh my gosh, it's already like the fifth, the sixth of the month. The new year started. I'm already behind. So let's just stop it. All right, let's just stop. Stop in the name of love." I don't know. I may be a little crazy this morning. In any case, yeah, let's just stop the madness. Let's stop the guilt. Stop feeling bad that you feel like you're behind. Because I want to just talk to you about what I find for me, what really works for me is just making one simple choice. Life is not a matter of chance. You've heard me say at least thousands of times. Life's not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. And it's the choices that we make, and the choice gives us freedom. I think sometimes we believe we're just stuck. We don't have any choice in our life. We just have to keep on doing what we're doing. And you know that that is what insanity is. To keep doing the same thing over and over, you're going to keep getting the same thing. So if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you've got. So that's just kind of insanity. So if you love everywhere you are, just keep on doing what you're doing. And that's great. And I congratulate you. But I think most people, they do, have areas where you might want some improvement. You may have areas that you feel really bad about. You may have areas that you're soaring and you're doing wonderful. So again, yay, congratulations. I'm going to this morning, I'm just going to give you some ideas on ways that you can make very small change. You can make one choice. So, and I'm going to ask you at the end of the show, what is your one choice you're going to make today? Um, the but I'm going to give you some areas to look at in your life. And think with me just a minute. If we were to just change the various parts of our lives by 10%, now that just is not that much, but it's amazing the difference that you can have in your life with just a small percentage, just a little bit. And again, I'm all about let's just make one choice. Let's not try to do everything. So y'all know if you've been around me very long, my health issue, not issues, just my health in general. Uh, Food and eating and exercise, all of that is always kind of weighs heavily on my mind. And then I had truly a come to Jesus moment about 3.5 months ago where he just released me from that obsession. It's like, thank you, Jesus, truly. And so my life in the last 3.5, whatever it is, months has just been so much better where I just realized that I'm the temple that Jesus said we are his temple. The Holy Spirit lives in us. So by changing that, making that choice to just take Jesus at his word and just give it over to him has truly changed how I'm looking at all of that. So that's what I did. That's a big decision that I made. I don't know why I didn't make it before. Who knows? But in any case, as we're looking at things, just instead of feeling overwhelmed and like you're already missing it for the year, and we're not going to fix everything. We cannot fix everything. So even back 90 days ago, my main thing was just to change my eating patterns. And so I know I need to change my exercise. I know there's a whole lot of things that go with health and wellness, but I found I can't change everything. And when I do that, I just get overwhelmed. Then I wind up kind of doing nothing and going backwards. So I'm hoping to help you think through some things so you don't have to go through that. You don't have to think about that. So change doesn't happen by leaps. Most of the time, it just starts with a decision. Again, what is it that you want to change today? And I saw this quote: God doesn't ask us to leap, he asks us to choose, and the best decision we ever make is choosing him. And it's not, Jesus didn't say, go clean up your act. He didn't say to the disciples, he'll say to Peter, go get yourself cleaned up. You're so impulsive. He didn't say, go get your impulses under control, get your life straightened out, and then come back and follow me. No, 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 no. Jesus says, follow me. And that's what he says to all of us. Stop right now and follow me. And then we get to make a choice. Are you going to say yes, follow Jesus or not? So that's simple, very simple decision. And then, then let's look at these other parts of our life. So let's think about, so in our spiritual life, I'm going to talk about more than just the spiritual life. But maybe you are, so you know where you are. So as I say these, kind of figure where you are. So in your spiritual life, as far as Bible reading, are you already in a Bible plan? Maybe you already on a read the Bible through. Um, maybe you're on a plan, for instance, that you're not being very consistent about it. So instead of asking you or having you think about reading more, how about if you just change it? If your plan is too complicated or is asking you to spend more time than you feel like you can do because you're not committing to it, then do less. Do less, but be more consistent. So if your plan is taking you 15, 20 minutes a day, and that's why you're only doing it 3 days a week or 2 days a week, then change your plan. It's okay. It's a decision. Just make a choice. Change your plan to maybe you'll consistently do 10 minutes a day. Just a thought. Maybe if you're already doing 15 minutes, you're 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, and you are wanting to increase it a little bit, how about you just do the 10% plan? That's kind of my new little mantra there, 10%. So that's only a minute and a half. I mean, come on, you won't even notice a minute and a half. So maybe that equates to a couple of extra verses, or maybe that says, okay, you're just going to add on reading a psalm or part of Proverbs, or pick whatever it is. There's so many. And again, those are each just little small decisions. So if you're wanting to increase that in your life, just add on 10% and just see where that takes you. It's amazing that little increments could do that, because it's not really about the time as much as it is about the intention of why you're doing it. So that's one way that you can do. Just choose one. Now, maybe you don't even have a plan. You don't really even know what I'm talking about. Okay. So your decision could be just find a plan. Your decision for today is to find a plan. And I'm going to say, give yourself till Sunday, give yourself the rest of the week. Reach out to some friends that you know and ask them if they're on a particular Bible reading plan and do they like it. And I love inspirational books, y'all, but sometimes the inspirational books that you might have one or two lines of scripture, and then they have a great commentary. And that's beautiful. And I'd say that's a great place where you can start. But if you really want to be intentional about reading God's word and learning, then you probably need to have a little bit more. So find a plan that gives you consistent reading. Maybe it's one chapter a day. Maybe you start in the gospel or start in the New Testament, or maybe you start a year-long plan. One I'll recommend to you that I have found I really do like, and it's a chronological, which is kind of different, but chronological reading of the Bible, both the Old and the New Testament, and includes, of course, the Psalms and the Proverbs. But it gives you several chapters a day to read, and then this particular one's by Tara-Leigh Cobble, and I really do like her, and she does like a 6-minute commentary after your readings of the day. So you may have, sometimes 3 chapters that you read, and then she does a commentary. So if you are really looking for something you want to really dig in, take a look at that. And you get that from the You Bible. And it's actually is a red Bible. Let me see if I can just get a quick picture of that for you. Um, it just says Holy Bible on it. And it's got several reading through plans. It's just not just her. I'm trying to see how I can actually get that too. Do you like, yes, okay. It's asking me questions like, would you, no, I don't want to rate it right now. Just give me a picture. That's all I really want. All right. My own Bible plans. And part of that, so the one that I'm talking about with Tara Lee Cobble is called the Bible Recap. And so you can get that. But in this whole thing, there are multiple plans. And just pick what sounds good. Maybe just start a 6-week one, and then you can switch to a different plan after 6 weeks. Again, give yourself some grace, but find a plan. Maybe your church already has a reading plan to read, something to read every day so that you can read the Bible in a year. I wonder if I can make this. This is not going to show you very well. I'm going to try it, but right up here, oh goodness. It is not showing the whole thing. It just says Holy Bible, but then it is the YOU Bible, and it has many Bible plans. Sorry. If you need more information, reach out to me because I can't seem to get it where I can show you the picture. All right. So just pick one. So give yourself till Sunday to find a plan and then start. And you can always, along the way, if you have a low day, something, you can go back. And if you want to make up, January 1st through the 10th, whenever you start, great. Or you can actually carry it into next year. This is not about guilt. It is not about being perfect. It is not about, any of that stuff. This is like, just make a choice and get started. All right, so the second area that I'm going to talk to you about is one I've been teaching on this for whatever, maybe my whole life, but for sure the last 12 years since I've been a coach and mentor. And it's about self-talk. One area that we all, I think all of us continue to need improvement on, and speaking for myself and for many, many of the ladies that I surround myself with, or in my group of at church or in Fun Fearless Female or whatever, those of you listening, is that we tend to be so negative about ourselves. So maybe today you need to think about just getting rid of one decision. This is easy today, right? We're talking about easy, small steps, one choice that you're going to choose today to not say a negative, not any negative thing, because I'm not sure any of us do all that. So listen to yourself. I would say give yourself the rest of the week and listen to yourself, talk to yourself. And if you have a phrase that you can start hearing, you have to be intentional, y'all, because you've probably been saying it so much you don't even know that you're saying it anymore. And the important thing is to realize what it is, and you have to capture that thought. You have to really grab it, and then you can get rid of it and you can replace it with a positive one. So, for instance, it maybe you say to yourself, the one I used to say to myself for 40 years or 50 even was, I am always late. I just used to always say that, oh, I'm always late. And guess what? I was always late. The more I would say I'm late, I really was late. So on my answering machine, I used to actually start it out with that little song from Alice in Wonderland. I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. That's how much I knew I was late. So I just put it even on my answering machine. No more. I am not late anymore. That has totally changed. Very, very seldom am I late, and often it's kind of out of my control. But the thing is, that used to be me. I used to be late all the time. So if you have one of those kind of phrases, maybe you say, I'm late all the time, or I'm terrible at math, or whatever your negative thought is, your most predominant negative thought, you're going to grab it and you're going to change that thought. You're going to say something positive to yourself. So what I changed was, I am never late. I really respect other people's time, and I am always on time to show respect to them. So that replaced that. So maybe you have negative self-talk that's about your image. A lot of women in our society right now, particularly young people, it makes me so sad for them. Have this thing about this negative image, like, oh, I'm so fat, or I'm so ugly, or whatever those words are that you're saying. Pay attention to it, grab it, and say, I am a child of God. I am a beautiful child of God, endowed by my Creator. He has chosen me and set me apart. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You start saying that to yourself, or pick out any verses you want. There's thousands of them in the Bible. Go in and find them. And if you need some help, reach out to me and let me know, because I have a whole list of them. And in my book, the back 3 or 4 or 5 pages is all about positive declarations about yourself and what God says you are. So if you are saying negative things to yourself, which I would guess there are some areas maybe where you might be doing that. If you're not, then I applaud you, because you have fixed that in yourself. But you can't change everything, but just change. Start with one of those thoughts and make a choice that you're going to change that one particular negative thought, and then decide what it is you're going to say about yourself instead. All right, so that's yours. So the first one is in your spiritual life, your Bible reading, that you can make a choice there. Okay, in your thoughts and your words, that is second. How about your time and your attention? Maybe you've realized that you are spending way too much time scrolling down. And I never really understood that, because I never did that. Just kind of scrolling down. Well, in the last several months, that little box at the top of your phone that's always showing you little things. And sometimes it's what do they call them? Oh, the short reels. And I've gotten to where I just so enjoy watching those. It could be about kids and dogs. Sometimes it's shows a lot of dance, and it does that because it knows that I like dance. So, the World of Dance Championships, or the top 25, or America's Got Talent, whatever that is. But I never understood what people were talking like. What do you mean you're just scrolling through your phone? Well, now I know, because I've allowed that to capture myself. Now it's still, right now, I don't see that I have that as a problem, but I am aware that it could be. So, but maybe that's what you're doing. Maybe you're playing so many games on your phone, or scrolling through these various things. Maybe you're worth watching some great podcasts. So good for you. I'm not trying to be critical, but if there's an area in your time and attention that you want to change, just make a choice that you're gonna change it. So again, I'm gonna go with the 10% rule. That's not very much. If you're watching, if you're watching 3 hours of whatever that you want to change, then what's 10%? 30 minutes. Can you just only do 2.5 hours instead of 3 hours? Of course you can, and you're not giving it up, and you're not, you know, poor me, I can't do this. Because that's kind of what happens to us. That's part of that negative self-talk. Well, I can't do anything. Oh, I can't eat any more candy, which I am trying not to eat. Not trying. There's no such word as trying. I am not eating any more candy and sugar. I did really well, y'all, for 90 days, and then I broke it right in Christmas Day and Christmas. I was doing Christmas cookies and stuff with the kids, and it just broke down, and I didn't even realize hardly I was doing it. Just kind of. I'm a taster, so I was like, oh my gosh. So, but that's over and gone. Gave myself grace. We all fall off the wagon, so to speak. So whatever your thing, your time and attention, or maybe there's something that you're doing that is so beneficial to you that you want to add time to whatever that is. Maybe there are some Christian broadcasts or Christian music that you like and enjoy, and you're going to add 10% more time to enjoy that. That's a great choice too. So just a choice. What one small thing can you make a different choice about? The the next one is in relationships. Now, from this perspective, just saying that maybe you want to just make a choice to send, for instance, an example, send one card a week or one card a month. I don't send any cards out. That is an area where I feel a little deficient, because I just, I'll get something in the mail. I just got a card. So Diane, if you're watching today, so my great friend of, oh my gosh, 40 years, because our kids are in their 40s and we've been together since, well, Alicia was just a little baby, maybe 6 months old. So 42 years we've known each other. So I got wonderful. And every year I get this Christmas card from her with the picture of the family, and has pictures of the family back. And I just loved getting it. Did I stop and take the time to send any out or take a picture or and be intentional to even make a picture of the family? No, I did not. So that probably will be a decision that I will make along the way, that I'm going to be more intentional about that, but I'm going to make it as a one decision thing. So one choice, in there. Um, if I start saying I'm going to start sending cards out all the time, I know I won't, because I've said that to myself so many times. That's like like I said, I'm not doing, and I'm suggesting you not do New Year's resolutions, because I just think we wind up being more frustrated by them in the first place. And so I'm saying, let's just make a couple different choices and something that you can easily live with. It's not going to be that hard, not overwhelming, not make you feel like a failure. If I say to myself that I'm going to start sending out a card every day, I would love that. Seems like such an easy thing, right? Just send out one card a day. I might run out of people to send cards to. I don't know. But in any case, I am not making that decision right now, because I like some of these other decisions that I'm going to make better than that. All right. So just thinking about that. So, like, again, no resolutions, no giant steps, no giving up everything, no changing every single area of your life. Just make one choice. What one choice would you like to make today? What one choice that would just make you feel like you're making a difference in your life? Because whenever you do make a choice, it does make a difference. That choice can change your life. And it's just, it makes it so much easier, and mentally so much easier. Um, I've gotten behind kind of on drinking my water. So my choice of today, because I'm down, like I said. So Kathy, if you're listening to me out there, and I have the best water in the world, I've got my magic Kangen water. Um, I'm drinking multiple cups of tea every day, so I'm getting plenty of liquid, but I'm not really drinking my water. So I'm going to add 1 glass of water. So I'm probably right now, I've only been doing 1 glass of water a day. So today I'm making a choice that I'm going to drink an extra glass of water. That's my choice for today. Is that easy? Now, if I do that same choice today, and maybe by another, because I'm drinking one already. And if I add one, so that makes 2, maybe by next week, I'll make a choice to add another glass. I'm going to just do things in small increments, because they're easy to handle. Mentally, I can handle them. I don't get into overwhelm. I don't feel guilty. Y'all, guilty is like cancer. I don't care if it's about your weight, your spiritual life, if it's about your mental things that go on in your mind, your negative self-talk. Yes, we all have areas that may need big changes, but they're not going to change all at once when you just say, I'm not going to do this anymore ever. Just like today. Today I'm going to decide. I use this example a lot because I think it makes sense that most people can understand it pretty well, is that, if we make the decision every day to brush our teeth, okay, you heard this before, sorry, you hear it again, but it's so small. What is it, like a minute in the morning and a minute at night? And I choose every day. I've been choosing for most of my life to do my brush my teeth every day, in the morning and at night before I go to bed. So when we make that choice, it's just a teeny thing, 2 minutes a day. I just do a minute morning, minute night. But that helps keep your teeth, in the long run. Do you want to keep your teeth and have your teeth healthy? That's going to happen much greater chances, that little small choice, than if you just don't take care of your teeth at all and you don't brush your teeth at all, which I don't know how anybody can stand that, because that's the first thing I do when I can't even get out of bed without, the minute I get out of bed, it is brush my teeth. So those little choices can make such a difference in your life. Very often, the small decisions, the small choices can lead to giant results, big, major change, transformation in your life by just making one decision. Just make one decision a day, that you're not going to call yourself fatty anymore. You're going to stop. That's the one you're going to say, I am perfectly and wonderfully made. I am a child of the Most High God who loves me unconditionally. I mean, you start saying words like that, y'all, it just, it soothes your soul. Take a deep breath. Maybe you are, okay, I'm going to tell you another decision. So I'm making 2 decisions today. Actually, I made the decision yesterday to do it today. I'm going to call my insurance company and find out about the health plan that they have. They have a physical, like a gym that you can join, and they have uh, a whole physical plan. Like I said, gyms that you can join, and it's free, this or whatever. But I don't know the details, which is why I need to make the phone call. So that's my second choice. I'm going to make two choices today. You can make more, but you don't hear me saying I'm going to start walking, 3 miles a day starting today. Because no, I won't. I can tell myself that, but it's a lie. I know it's a lie when I say it, but I can make a phone call to find out about, what gyms are available and how it works. I don't even know how it works. So I'm going to find that information, and then that will lead me to the next decision. Is this all making sense? Okay. Oh, you guys, I'm so glad you're on here today. What a great way to be together. Next week, I am going to be in Florida at my great friend Vicky's house, and I'm planning to do my show just probably out in her backyard by her pool, or I don't think I'll make it to the beach, but that would be kind of cool. So I don't know, somewhere in Florida, I'm going to be down there. So I'm going to do truly live out in the, I hope, sunshine of Florida next week. And it's going to be my birthday week. So it's funny, I do try to travel on my birthday week. I have for years. One of our best statistics of this show was when I had my something birthday. So it was my birthday. I was in Florida, and we had over 1,000 views that day. I was walking along the beach. It was during COVID, so I think it was just people who were just, looking for something to watch because they were stuck in their house. And I was trying. My message that day was, don't let the fear overwhelm you. Jesus didn't create us to live in fear. Have faith, go out, even if it's walk in your own neighborhood, get out of your house. So anyway, I don't know what I'm going to talk about next week, but that's where I'll be. I'll look forward to talking to you from there. Thank you so much continuing the journey with me. As I told you, when I started back up after I had my pause with my mother's stroke last year, and we started back, I don't know what God's leading right now. I know this is where I'm supposed to be and do, and we're just going to do it every day until he says go a different direction. So it's totally up there, whatever decision that he impresses upon me. So thank you so much. I would love to see in the comments what's one choice you're going to make today, because I love to say my favorite phrase, and I'll end it again. Life is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. Choose wisely and decide. Let me know what is your choice that you're going to make today. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Love you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye.